Tonight we celebrate the extraordinary legacy of Chip Winiarski, a name that resonates with excellence, perseverance, and leadership. A 1986 graduate of South Amherst High School, Chip left an indelible mark on both the athletic fields and the lives of those around him.
Chip has this infectious personality that people just want to be around. He has this way of making everybody feel welcome, making you kind of feel like you're important, like you matter. And it doesn't matter who it is. No matter if you're a young kid, someone his age, someone he's never met before. When you start talking to Chip, you instantly feel like you belong, like you matter. He has an incredible sense of humor. That's one of the takeaways people get from him is he loves to laugh, loves to joke, loves to have fun. Some of the hardest times I think I've ever laughed were with Chip, growing up with Chip. So that's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Chip.
During his high school years, Chip excelled in cross country, basketball, and baseball, earning 4 varsity letters in each sport. His athletic prowess was undeniable, all Inland Conference honors in every sport, Mr. Basketball Lorain County in 1986, and the Ohio Slam Dunk Champion title.
Being from a small town of South Amherst, a very, very small town, South Amherst saw some success in sports. They've always had some decent sport teams, especially basketball and baseball. During, I would say, those 80s, those years when Chip was in high school, we had some very, very good basketball and baseball teams, and with him being a part of it, it pulled a lot of attention. So you had a lot of those Friday night games where that little gym in South Amherst was just absolutely packed. People were there to see. It was a great team. All of those players are very talented, but they were really there to see Chip. Newspaper reporters, you name it, radio reporters were there to watch him play. And I think it kind of put South Amherst on the map. It really, if you mention that now, I still run into people that remember Chip playing and talk about what a great athlete, what a great person he was. So it kind of put South Amherst on the map in one way or another.
He set a school basketball record with 44 points in a single game and averaged an astonishing 28.6 points per game his senior year.
Chip set the scoring record for a game while he was at South Amherst with 44 points in one game. The record before was previously held by my father, who was his uncle, was 42 points in one game. So I remember my dad was very proud of that record, but he was very, very excited when Chip broke it. So, it stayed in the family, and he always loved Chip. So I remember that. It was a great night.
His talents extended beyond high school. At Oberlin College, Chip rewrote the record books, scoring 2,303 career points in basketball and pitching with a national leading ERA of 1.47 in baseball. A 4-year letter winner in both sports, he earned all North Coast Athletic Conference honors and a place on the NCAC All-Decade Team. In 2001, Oberlin honored him with induction into their Athletic Hall of Fame. Chip's athletic journey didn't stop there. As a professional baseball player for the Cleveland Indians and Chicago White Sox, he brought the same dedication and discipline to the highest level of competition. Beyond the field, Chip exemplifies leadership and compassion.
Chip is a very humble, very kind of almost private type of person. He's the last person that's going to talk about any of his accomplishments. All the things we're celebrating right now, he's the last person that would tell you about it. You could go years knowing Chip and not really know anything about him because he doesn't really talk about it much.
When asked about his proudest achievements, Chip reflects not on his accolades, but on his roles as a devoted husband, father, and mentor.
He's very family oriented, very close-knit with his parents, his grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles. We were a very close-knit family, and he holds that very, very sacred. Family is very important to him. Even his friends, he still keeps in touch with high school and middle school friends from this area. Even though he doesn't live in the area, he still keeps in touch with everybody from probably elementary school on. He's very concerned about that.
Through his long-standing involvement with Young Life, he has inspired and uplifted countless young people sharing faith and hope.
And the faith is, once he once he got into the youth, the young life and the youth ministry things, it really changed him as a person. I think that has really guided him in a different direction, in a more positive direction, that has taken him from, he's been doing it for, I would say 30 years, so that's really molded his life into what it is now.
As Executive Vice President of Flexco and President of the National Industrial Belt Association, he has guided teams and organizations with integrity.
Well, Chip has always had an incredible drive to succeed. And again, it was evident as a young kid, middle school, high school, in his athletic career, he had this incredible drive to, I think, always outdo himself. He was always bettering himself, competing against himself. And that has, I think, just translated into went right from his college career into his professional career and right up to the person he is today.
For him, true success lies in being a pillar for his family, friends, and the thousands of employees who count on leadership. Chip Winiarski's legacy is one of commitment, humility, and impact, a true Hall of Famer in every sense. Congratulations, Chip, on this well-deserved honor.
Greetings. I'm Chip Winiarski, and it's an honor to be with you this evening. First off, my apologies for not being there in person. I wish I could have been there tonight to accept this award, but right now I'm currently in Chile during the Hall of Fame celebration. Secondly, congratulations to the other Hall of Famers, Susan, Larry, Otto, Joe, Bill, and the 1997 Lady Falcons volleyball team. I'm humbled and honored to be part of such an amazing induction class. And thank you to the Firelands Hall of Fame Induction Committee for accepting my nomination form. Honestly, when I was called by Mark Wassum in the fall of last year, and he asked me to fill in the blanks on the nomination form, it was very difficult for me to do. You see, I've really never been focused on accomplishments or statistics. Rather, the relationships that I built with people during the journey. There are numerous people that I want to thank, and Lynn Schmitz told me I have to keep this to 5 minutes. So here goes. Jesus, thank you for giving up your life for me. Everything starts and ends with you. Mark Wassum, Joe Gentile, and Steve Stanley, thank you for being great stewards during the nomination process. Todd Eberhardt, thank you. You were kind enough to represent me and my family in the introductory video. While I haven't seen it yet, I'm pretty sure it's amazing and awesome. Thank you for having the courage to do that for me. To my wife, Maida, who I've been married to for 28 years, you're the most incredible person I've ever met in my life, and you inspire me to be a better husband, father, colleague, friend, and neighbor each and every day. To my 5 children, Bryn, Claire, Lily, Naomi, and Ben, you are a blessing to me, and you're the reason I wake up every morning to go be the best version of myself. To my father, Ron Winiarski, my mother, Michelle Winiarski, my grandmother and grandfather, Ben and Teresa Loop, you are the people who are the cornerstones of my life and who shaped me into the person I am today. I'm forever grateful. And it's always awesome when your grandpa is your best friend growing up. To my extended family, the Loops, the Russos, the Riches, Losses, McHughes, Ruths, Hayneses, Eberhardts, Tadios, Winiarskis, you created an amazing environment where I felt cared for and valued then and still to this day. Thank you. To the community of South Amherst, my neighbors, friends, family friends, I'm very proud to represent South Amherst and grow up in a community where I was loved and recognized each day, and everybody knew our names. To the many coaches, teachers, and administrators at South Amherst and throughout my journey, thank you. Some names you might recognize are Tom Ewell, Wanda Courier, Mrs. Moore, the Simmons duo, Mr. Cottom, the Imlers, Mrs. Dickinson, Wayne Smith, and yes, even the lunch ladies, Mrs. Yarmick, Eldridge, Stevens, Livingston, Galloway, Clouser, thank you for making lunch for me and my classmates from the time we were in kindergarten until we graduated. Thank you, Carl Dostal, the maintenance manager at South Amherst High School. And thank you, Jack Wilhelm, my high school cross-country coach, who also coached my father when he played football at South Amherst. And to Glenn Ruth, thank you. Glenn managed me during my Hot Stove Little League era from 1978 through 1981. He is the person to this day I consider my greatest coach and mentor. To all the teammates, friends at South Amherst, Oberlin College, Cleveland Indians, and Chicago White Sox, thank you. Specifically John Wooldridge, Doug Irvin, Brad Frederick, Mark Daly, Don Heister, Dennis Carlock, Gene Harmish, Brian Shelton, Michelle Ostrowski, Deanne Suetta, Milton Cook, Chris Broussard, John Starkey, and Michael Call. These lifelong friends still make time for me whenever I want, whether texting quickly day to day or getting together personally when I come back home for a visit. I'm grateful to have friends like you. And to my teammates on the 1979 Loop Chevrolet Hot Stove baseball team, who to this day I still consider the greatest team I ever played for and with, thank you. I'm pretty sure this picture was used in the introductory video. Manager Glenn Ruth, coaches Mr. Frederick, Mr. Carlock, my dad, my mom, who was a scorekeeper, and all the teammates, Jeff Carey, Kurt Lauer, Dennis Carlock, Todd Creek, Kurt Maley, Jeff Novak, Jess Osborne, John Wooldridge, Mark Daly, Billy Bray, Brad Frederick, Don Heister. Thank you. If you remember, I shared with you at the beginning that it wasn't about the accomplishments, the trophies, or the statistics, but about the people. I'd like to thank all of you for this awesome award. In closing, I'd like to share with you a little piece of a song written by Ben Rector named Old Friends. I think it summarizes and captures the spirit of what I was trying to do with my remarks this evening. It goes something like this. Can you take me back when we were just kids who weren't scared of getting older? Because no one knows you like they know you, and probably no one ever will. You can grow up, make new ones, but the truth is there's nothing like old friends. Thank you, my friends. Thank you to the Firelands Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the other inductees. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I look forward to seeing you all next year in person. Thank you so much.
Can you take me back when we were just kids who weren't scared of getting older? 'Cause no one knows you like they know you, and no one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones, but the truth is that we grow up, then wish we could go back then. There's nothing like old friends. 'Cause you can't make old friends.